Still on the Cedi appreciation, one question is, will prices of transport fares go down or will it go up? Now, let's speak to Duncan Amwa. He is Executive Director for Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC. Now, thanks for joining us this afternoon. And my question really is, has the Cedi appreciated enough to be able to affect the prices of fuel so that I can also feel it when I am paying for transportation?
Again, to your viewers, listeners across the world. Indeed, the answer is that it is significant. And I do not think that at this point the transport operators will be justified in any way to continue charging the old fares. I think that at this point it will be fair to call on them to also decline on transport fares across the country. If you have fuel prices moving from 15 to around 12 and 13 now, you would not say anywhere that it is not significant. You are doing between some 15–20% reduction on fuel price. That is quite significant, and for that I think if there's any magnanimity on the part of transport operators, we should be seeing transport fares go down this week. That would also add to the cooling effect that the Ghanaian is asking for from an economy that, was in some boiling state just a few months ago. It cannot be said that GUTA is now asking members to reduce the prices of goods and services that they render across the country, and then the transport operators would insist they wouldn't go down. So we think, and we are calling on them as of this afternoon, to begin adjusting transport fares downwards across the country. It is important they do so now.
I can just predict what transport operators may say, that the factors that contribute to their transport fares are not just exclusive to fuel. It will be other factors like car parts and all of that. I've always been thinking, it looks like for price regulation, it nearly works around the fuel industry. But how can we culminate this for transport fares to actually, for consumers to actually feel it as well? Can we really regulate it?
Indeed, if you look at the computation of the transport fare mix, your fuel price alone will contribute about 40% to that. And so once that comes down, there's every indication that their cost of operation is significantly also reduced, and so they will need to come down. Again, you have GUTA, whose members include the spare parts dealers, today asking that their members begin to drop prices. And so if prices of parts should come down, cost of lubricants would have come down because fuel prices equally have come down. Then you have those federate. Don't forget, COPEC has been one of the bodies that has fiercely defended our transport union, even in the last month when this discussion came up that they should reduce their fares. We thought it was a bit too early. At the time, fuel was going around 15. As I speak to you, the highest market is about 13.3.
Okay.
Some are doing 12. And so we've seen some significant reductions due to the Cedi's appreciation. And I think that we will not be able to, at this point, on this day, continue to make the same excuses we made for the transport operators not to reduce fares. And so we think that it's only fair that following from GUTA's call, last week Friday, we were on GUTA again, not to tell Ghanaians they are going to take 2-3 months to reduce their prices, and that the dollar, if you had a $1 million debt to defray, and it was going to cost you about 16 million Ghana cedis. If it is costing you 13.2 million Ghana as of today, that's a saving of 2.8 million Ghana cedis. It's significant and cannot be swept under the carpet. We are happy that we wake up from the weekend, they are already asking their members to decline on prices. I think that GPRTU and the other transport operators should take a cue and also decline on transport fares.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much for bringing in some understanding. But the next question really we'll be asking is, will the Cedi's appreciation as well affect utility tariff We've been joined by Dr. Eric Obute. He is Director, Research and Corporate Affairs at PURC. And a lot of the times when you hear the name PURC, you know that there's some sort of price adjustment. And just May 3, you recall that the prices of utilities had been increased by very significant margins. But, Doc, this afternoon, can you please tell me whether the Cedi appreciation really would affect? Will we see some adjustments at the utility fares?
Thank you very much. PURC is not only there, as you said, for price increment or price adjustment.
Absolutely.
We're also there for the quality of service as well. So we look at both the quality of service and then the pricing of the commodity itself. In the minor tariff regime, we look at those four basic factors, which are basically inflation, exchange rate, and the fuel price mix. Now, we've seen that the Cedi is appreciating against the dollar. Obviously, but on the next tariff window, the inflation has also dropped to about 21% now. Obviously, to impact on the next tariff window. So at the end of this particular tariff, we will do a review again, and then the next tariff window will take into consideration all these varying factors which will impact the tariff in the next tariff window.
Doc, but I'm just but a consumer who can see that the dollar is reduced today. I'm not certain whether or not it would reduce in the next 3 months, which will be the next time that you may be adjusting, or the next quarter, which you may be adjusting. And so if by the next 3 months he appreciates, would I have lost the opportunity to have paid a fair deal this time around?
Well, you know, we do this over a quarterly basis, on a 3-month basis. So we look at the exchange rate over the 3-month period that we are going to review. So if we do the review over the next 3 months, and we realize that the exchange rate has actually dollar consistently over the period, obviously it will impact positively on the tariff. The last tariff window was we used exchange rate of 15.65 to the dollar. Now we are talking about something in the region of 13 cedis to the dollar. So that's a big dip, and obviously it will affect or impact positively on the tariff. So in the next tariff window, we look at how all these factors will play out and then see how it will affect the tariff. Okay,
Doc, so that I understand. But what I really want to understand is that in the next time where you're adjusting the tariff, if the dollar has appreciated at that time, would it mean that today that I could have enjoyed it, I would have lost out on the opportunity? That's the question.
No, you would not have lost it. You know, there's something we call over and under recovery in applying the tariffs. So obviously, as I said, we track it over a 3-month period. It's not a spot rate that we use. We don't use a spot rate. Let's say today's rate is what we use to apply for the tariffs. No, we use it. It's a trend over a 3-month period. How did the exchange behave over this 3-month period? And that is what we use to price the commodity. And we use the Bank of Ghana rate. So over a 3-month period, even if there have been shifts and then there's depreciation of the currency along the way, the averaging of the currency will determine the direction of the tariff at the end of the period.
Right. Dr. Obute, thank you so much for bringing clarity to this conversation.